Welcome back. Smooth and Crypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. TitanX is the ecosystem to watch, especially rolling into 2024. We have a ton of bullish updates and news in the TitanX ecosystem. Big update number one, 1 year anniversary for TitanX, the week of the 10/28. So October 28th, we have our 1 year anniversary. This is going to be awesome. Huge live stream, tons of people watching and viewing. It's going to be a very awesome, bullish, community driven live stream. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to be speaking in it. I'm going to be within the live stream. So watch out for that. We have a ton of new updates within TitanX, and let's get into it. So TitanX right now has had a pretty good, if I can be frank, I feel like a pretty good weekend, right? Obviously, we're at a very fluctuating time at this point. And by the way, I always keep my charts in daily. I don't, sometimes I do minutes just to see what it's doing, but for the most part, I keep it in daily just to see the big macro news. And I'm more of a macro alpha type of person, in my opinion. I kind of coined the macro alpha Titan X type content, in my opinion. So we have a ton of new projects being released on top of Titan X, right? So at this point, there is over 20 projects being released on Titan X, right? 8 have already been released, and there is a potential 20 future ones. So right now, there is what, 11, 12 projects that haven't been released that are in the pipeline and have been verbally saying they're going to release. There is, and don't quote me, 10, 12 different projects that haven't been even publicly talked about that are being built on top of Titan X. So not only will these projects really, really kill it, in my opinion, we have the ability to release all of these plus have another 10, 12, 14 different projects being released. And who knows how long or how far away those projects are, but it feels great to have more projects that are not on Titan X Hub to be released in the future. And I know a lot of people are, talking about them, and there's already a lot of meme coins on top of Titan X that aren't even on this. So it's pretty cool to see. Hydra is going to be an absolute beast in the future. This is going to really, really burn and utilize Titan X and Dragon X. So Hyper has a big vortex coming in the next couple days, in my opinion. And obviously, I haven't looked at it. We can pop into it. Let's see. So day 196. So 3 days we have until the vortex hits, and this will send the ETH to be used to buy Titan X and then burn Hyper with it. The Titan X gets sent to the Hyper buy and burn to be used to buy Hyper and burn it. This happens in a fully decentralized way through smart contracts every 98 days. So this is going to do use and buy Titan X and use it to burn Hyper, but inevitably it will burn, right? Hyper burn, buy and burn, Titan X, buy and burn or buy. So this is all of the ETH that's going to be used to buy Titan X. So, and a portion of that is burned forever. So, a big part of this ecosystem is everything that's being built on top of Titan X, right? Is being used as the main LP, big buy and burns for every single project, right? Whether it's buying and burning Titan X or themselves or both, right? A lot of projects do both, and we do a big job in burning. So if you can see, right, Titan X itself has burnt 66.1 trillion. Dragon X, this is burned or staked, which if it's fully max staked, then it's theoretically burned and it's going to reinvest after that max length stake. So it's theoretically burned forever. So that's really awesome. So Titan X 66 trillion, Dragon X 8.9 trillion, Hyper 6 trillion, Helios 1.1 trillion, Inferno is already at 600 billion burned, which is so bullish. Inferno has had such an amazing price chart, right? And from the conception, it's just been rising, right? It's had a very, very big, nice little 10x ish on the price of this from release. And we're only the beginning. And right at this current moment, 41%, right? So last cycle 8 just happened this past weekend. 41% of the inferno that has ever been created is burned forever. So I suspect this inferno liquid to really drop once Flux comes out. Flux is going to be absolutely insane for Inferno. So hashtag build on Inferno, right? Awesome X has just been the white paper has been released, so check that out if you haven't seen it. We have so many bullish new projects being released on TitanX that have not been released yet, and these type of tokenomics and community built projects are one of the most impressive things, in my opinion. Everybody doing this, right? We have a couple really good teams, and you know, we have. Let's go to the Dune Analytics. We have no inflation coming out in the future. I mean, virtually none. So we just had. This is the last day of a 2 trillion one. Let's just refresh this. So we have nothing coming out in the future, right? So all December into 2025, if you mix the inflation, or I guess you could say deflation of TitanX, because we're going to burn all of that, in my opinion. So once all of this drops and consistently drops and we have little to no inflation at all and we start the hyperdeflation process, this mixed with all of these projects being released on top of TitanX is the main reason why this is the ecosystem to watch. We are layer one on top of a layer one. So we have all of the infrastructure and the greatness of ETH built on us, in us, and around us, right? Then you add on new projects being released on top of TitanX with the sole purpose of burning more tokens and really growing an ecosystem. These LPs that we have within TitanX are so volatile. It's amazing. And we've seen the past month, right, with just after that day 280, we've had nothing but upward momentum, right? So it's been about 45 days or so, and we've had nothing but just upward momentum. Community has been absolutely loving everything about it. We have so many more projects being released. Once we pass that day 280 with the most inflation we've ever and will ever see, right? This is the biggest thing for the future. We have no inflation coming out. And even when uh, long term and short term miners for TitanX become profitable again, that will only be a small percentage of the total supply that will come out, right? So if you say we inflated, say, 100 uh, trillion coins, right? Give it whatever it is. This next cycle of miners will not make 100 trillion tokens. We will see what 3, 4, 5 trillion at the most, in my opinion. So we have some really bullish news in the future. Day 369 has a big payout, right? So lots of bullish news and updates, and it's really hard to keep track of everything because of how much new stuff is coming out. So yeah, this is why I think TitanX is the ecosystem to watch. If you have any thoughts, comments, put it down in the comments. I appreciate everybody for watching, viewing, subscribing, and most importantly, share it. Peace, guys. Till next time.